Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture. He's Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture. The Royal Rumble is next weekend. We've already predicted all the men in the 30-men Royal Rumble, but what about the 30 women who are going to be in that match? Starting with Michael Hamflett.
Chelsea Green.
Yes.
Or as she's sometimes known,
it's Chelsea Green.
It remains absolutely gross. Thank you for that. Yeah, Chelsea Green, the current and presumably reigning and defending United States champion, going into the Royal Rumble. There's been whispers that she may be taking on Meechin in a rematch on the undercard, but that doesn't mean that obviously champions or people that wrestle in the undercard can't be in the Rumble as well.
Roman did it to such reaction.
Yeah, currently we're on 2 announced women for the entire match, so we might as well speculate on champions entering as well. Look, Chelsea Green's had an amazing start to 2025 and a cracking 2024 to boot as well, so why not include her as the number one entrant, not least because obviously the first entrant in the match can be used as somebody that's going to have an Iron Woman run or have a bit of fun, like do a bit of sort of like wacky early Rumble stuff with, and someone like Chelsea Green can simultaneously be furious at the injustice of being number one while also trying to own the role. So I like the idea of her in that kind of like stage.
And you could have Piper Niven there on the outside, maybe preventing some eliminations. She was initially on Jamie Kennedy's brilliant list about all this, entrant number 2, and then I got my hands on it and predicted for number 2, the Iconics. Let me dream, damn it. Predict it every bloody year.
Sorry, who they?
The Iconics.
We've got 30 of these lined up. Is your voice going to...
Not both of them. I realise that's kind of cheating. It's not like just because they're entrant number 2, both of them can go in there. But I'd take either. I'd love both of them to come out and the other person to be on the outside. Let's be honest, I think Billie Kay would fill that role brilliantly, cheering Peyton Bloody Royce on. I often predict that they should be returning to WWE or in a Royal Rumble match when they are pregnant. I've checked, and as far as I'm aware, they both aren't pregnant right now.
I've known you predict the Iconics to be in a Royal Rumble around SummerSlam season.
Yeah.
Like any excuse.
Billie Kay has had a child back in 2023, and Peyton Royce had her second child with Sean Spears, of course. Congratulations to them. Midway through 2024.
So what you're saying is get on with it, yeah?
And Sean has said on a Chris Van Vliet podcast that she's itching to return to the ring. I think having, Peyton Royce in there with Billie Kay on the outside cheering her on, and the interactions, because we all kind of want to see Chelsea Green in the Iconics, would be amazing.
Certain character overlaps would be quite nice, wouldn't they? Again, for the Rumble.
Please.
And assuming that they don't last all that long for the pop, it's okay, we can move on to the real match with number 3. Becky Lynch making a big return to WWE. Now we're talking about Iron Women. The man, fittingly being the one. Becky Lynch has done long runs in the Rumble before. She's obviously a massive star. This is a huge return. They have promoted
spoiler. Sorry, keep going.
They have promoted certain other wrestlers on TV about potentially appearing in this match, but all has been quiet with Becky Lynch since she had her last match on Raw last year.
One of the favourites if she comes in. This
is it, right? So how do you sort of do away with potentially somebody coming in who so obviously has to win from a high position? You put them in early and you make it a battle. If Becky Lynch is to get eliminated late on in the match, having come in at number 3, maybe she puts in an hour, actually gets a few eliminations for that hour spent in the ring, unlike a lot of the people that Triple H books in these Rumbles. I certainly think it gets her immediately back ready for something big for WrestleMania, and ultimately elevates every interaction with some of the other women to come. There will be lots of people yet to arrive that has never really done anything with Becky Lynch, so you've got a bunch of potential face-offs. Whenever there's a big surprise pop of an entrance music hitting that you weren't ready for, the idea that Becky Lynch is in the ring means that them two could have a face-off.
Boatloads of world champions in the men's Royal Rumble already announced, so it just makes sense to have Becky return, and it's always been suggested that she was going to come back as soon as they moved to Netflix and on the road to WrestleMania. I love her as number 3. Yeah, give her plenty of time in there. Entrant number 4, who could it be? It's Kairi Sane. She's been missing since December, of course. Pure Fusion Collective taking her out of action, and I know there was a picture I saw a while back of her in a sling, but we're just going for it on this. So yeah, Kairi Sane, obviously sensational. It doesn't really make sense to go up top in a Royal Rumble, but I still want to see an insane elbow in there, and she's another person who she's not winning, I don't think, Kairi Sane, but she would work well with pretty much anyone in there. She's just phenomenal, and I want to see more of her in 2025.
Becky Lynch herself called her a warrior, didn't she?
Yes.
When they had that ladder match that went a little bit askew a few years back. And the idea of
Plus the entrance, come on.
Damage Couture possibly being back at nearly full strength as we go along through this match. Yeah, that'd be nice to sort of see that grow and develop as well as the match goes on. Speaking of the match going on, next up we've got Ivy Nile. American Made have made big promises this year about winning singles titles across the board, tag belts for the Creeds. Chad Gable wants to make good on all of the promise and potential, I guess, of 2024 that was never really materialised. You could say the same for American Made. I'm not pitching Ivy Nile as a winner, but again, somebody coming in early and getting a long run. She's already been cast as someone very, very tough, but often the matches are just not there to back that up. Little interactions with some of the stars and the people later to come in the match will do good for her.
She's freakishly strong, isn't she?
Yeah.
There's quite a few people we're booking in this match to have that sort of spot as well, but I really like her. So from her time in NXT, I think she could do wonders and needs that platform on the main roster.
If we're going to campaign for Triple H actually doing a good job with the Rumbles this year, then what you're kind of looking for is 30 people being given individual stories / character traits / moments to make even entering the match worthwhile. If she's got any singular takeaway from an hour-long match, she's in a better state on Raw than she currently is.
I think this is the year he nails at least one Royal Rumble.
Fingers
Got
crossed.
to.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Right, we need some proper bona fide heels in the Royal Rumble now, which brings us to entrant number 6, Naomi. I know what you're up to, love, right? Ooh, who attacked Jay Cutler? I'm doing all this investigating, I can't seem to find it out. It's because it was you. We all know it, but I don't know if it's going to be revealed just yet.
I don't imagine so, no.
But Naomi's class, obviously, and has had some amazing moments in Royal Rumbles in the past, and one half the tag team champions, at least at time of recording. Lash Legend and Shakara Jackson may have something to say about that.
Yeah.
But, Bianca's going to be in it in a bit. Spoilers.
Celebrating a year, obviously, since making a return at last year's Royal Rumble, and indeed, theoretically toasting the success of the last 12 months. You know, part of the Big Three, and then part of the Tag Team Champions when the third member of the Big Three mysteriously got injured by an unknown assailant. So yeah, as you say, there might be some further teases, not just at the Royal Rumble, but on the road to the Royal Rumble.
Forgot we haven't got her. Have we got her in it?
No, I don't think so.
A few moments later.
We're predicting some pretty wild picks as we get towards the end of this list.
Yeah.
If not one of them, Jade Cargill.
Naomi sort of looking shocked. Oh, great!
Brilliant! You can help me with my investigation!
You could indeed see it. And you could also see the next entry, which is...
It's going so well.
I was trying to give her the build-up because I knew that Wilborn wouldn't. It's Natalya.
Entrant number 8 is... Zoe Stark! People like Natalya, whatever. She'll be fine in there. She'll get one elimination. She'll last 50 minutes. Who cares?
He's not wrong.
Is Zoe Stark, who has, you two were talking about it just yesterday, punched a ticket for the Royal Rumble in one spot. You both were talking about how amazing that dropkick was. I can't remember which one. Who was it who suggested drop kicking someone out of the Rumble?
I think that was me. Yeah, she drop kicked her ticket to WrestleMania. Yeah. If anyone
come in, drop kick someone, bloody hell, over the top rope.
It's a springboard as well, right?
Yeah,
so if you think
missile. Like, head.
If that's an entry into the match, while there's other bodies elsewhere, and she just flies in with that drop kick. You know, you think about. I know it annoyed a lot of people, but you think of the Ricochet Logan Paul thing. It was impressive on its own terms because it was flying through the air hitting each other. But it was all the more interesting visually because there was that many other bodies around them. I love when the Rumble gets the benefit of doing big wacky spots while there are other things happening, like the extra movement.
That's what they've been missing for the Triple H years.
Yeah, the extra sort of movement around some of the daft ideas make for these, and it was the case with Ricochet and Logan Paul. These
that's the exception.
Capital M moments, something that people remember and still talk about, and Zoe Stark's getting one with that big dropkick would be awesome.
Well, some people have been calling Zoe Stark the new Mil Mascaras.
Yeah,
so that's what she eliminates herself.
That's it. Yeah,
kick her, bye.
Out of nothing but politics. She's like, it's a PSC thing. I'm not putting anybody over.
Yeah.
She throws herself out the Rumble with. She actually drop kicks and then clears the ring and goes over the top rope on the Yankees tag. It's going to be awesome. You've heard that here first.
That's his elimination ever.
I want this clipped when that actually happens.
Yeah.
After Zoe Stark, we're getting somebody else that can fly clean over the top rope. It's third person herself, Lyra Valkyria, the Intercontinental Champion. Again, like Chelsea Green, has every right to try and enter the Rumble and like level up and win the very next title. And I think signs are good that she's going to have a crack in 2025 anyway. So I see no reason why she wouldn't have a good Royal Rumble as well. It was a sort of an up and down 2024 for her on account of the fact that she was called up and it seemed like she was on the verge of something great in that first that first run she had on Raw. Things went very quiet, but
and then Nia Jax happened at Queen of the Ring.
One of the best WWE finishes of the year. But the Intercontinental title has felt like reward or, I don't know, apology for kind of being forgotten about for the second half of 2024. Fingers crossed the division is given the respect it deserves, considering they've just strapped up a new champion, and what way to do that than giving the champion a decent run in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, having her and Chelsea, if they're not, like you say, defending those titles on this show in the Rumble. We had Braun and Shinsuke in the men's one. It's just easy booking, isn't it? Of like, right, who do you set up as their opponent going forward? Summit involving the Rumble, and of course a history with Becky Lynch. Let's not forget. Entry number 10. Oh, we can dream.
Oh gosh, this is an error.
This is a build-up. I like this. 10, 9.
Whoa.
C4.
It's Trish Stratus. It's Trish Stratus.
Yeah, Trish Stratus would get a huge pop, obviously.
Yeah.
We are dreaming with some of our picks for this Royal Rumble, but we're allowed because it's the Royal Rumble, and Trish Stratus is always someone who guarantees an amazing reaction, can work in there with anyone. A legend, obviously, and someone who, if you want to, could just set up something non-title related at WrestleMania for one of their big stars.
Yeah, kind of a revelation that Trish Stratus was able to come back, work a semi-full-time schedule, do it as a heel, like got in the mix very much Trish Stratus when she made her last return. So definitely don't rule out the fact that she might want to do that again. Yet Royal Rumble can still just be for cameos, and Trish Stratus can kind of occupy both those spaces quite neatly. It's the same thing as what we said about like Becky Lynch at this point. When you throw in a big star, the opportunity of that big star, we've just mentioned Lyra Valkyria, like a big star like interacting with somebody brand spanking new, it's just something cool to look at that the Rumble is supposed to afford. It's supposed to give people, the wrestlers and fans, the opportunity to see something that you wouldn't necessarily catch in the weekly churn. So I very much like the idea of a Trish Stratus, and others like her potentially getting a spot in the Royal Rumble as well. It can't just, I don't necessarily want jokes and Michael Cole and like some of the worst of the like comedic excesses the Rumble's gone by, but it does add a bit of flavour.
And you don't want to just save all your big pops or your big surprises until the last 10, 15 minutes.
Quite right as well, yeah, like this sort of idea that only number 30 can be a surprise pop. We move from Trish Stratus to number 11, which is Liv Morgan, obviously the former World Heavyweight Champion. Probably isn't going to factor back into title contention, so won't exactly be one of the hot favourites to win, but enters this match as a far bigger star than she did 12 months ago.
Easily after Trish too.
Yeah, she's come close on several occasions to winning the Royal Rumble, and while she probably won't do that this year, she kind of doesn't need it as much. Like 2024 was very much her year, often like the top star on Raw, let alone just in one of the top storylines. So yeah, you don't not put Liv Morgan in. She's got to want to win that belt back, but maybe just there on star power alone this time around.
And easy to set up some big match for her at WrestleMania, or just put her in the mix for even the mid-card titles perhaps.
Indeed, yeah.
Entrant number 12, it would be fab to see B-Fab in the Royal Rumble.
That's so good.
Thanks. She has really impressed me on her transition to the main roster. She lost, but she was awesome in that triple threat qualifier match that they had. She even looked good just the other day, getting squashed effectively by Piper Niven. I'm not anticipating she's going to be in the final four. I'm not saying she's going to get loads of eliminations, but it is a great experience to go into a Royal Rumble, and she can work with a multitude of stars, as you've mentioned. I'm expecting big things from her in 2025.
The Rumble is a blessing for someone like a B-Fab, because if you can only get so much television time to sort of flex your improvement, as you say, in squashes or as like the third person in a triple threat, it's sometimes hard to get that TV time. You only need to get one or two spots in a Rumble to like make a memory or put like imprint something in fans' minds, and hope B-Fab has one of them nights, as I do for the next entrant, number 13. Unlucky for some, but hopefully not, Raquel Rodriguez. I think they are really cooking something up with her within the walls of the Judgment Day Clubhouse at present, and we've had Liv Morgan in at 11, and it would stand to reason that initially she would be thrilled to see Raquel Rodriguez in there. She would presume that Raquel would be there as her heater, as somebody that can do the dirty work for her, But is the dirty work happening in the background between her and Dirty Dom?
Well, yeah, Dom could come out with Liv for... Oh.
Indeed. Lately, she's taken to wearing those fun glasses. I genuinely believe it's because people were watching the segment to see where her eyes were going.
She's going to wrestle in the glasses.
When Dom and Liv were having those rows, I'm all for it. Super Callow did it in WCW with like masking and sunglasses over the top.
Yeah.
There's a deep cut for the people that are as ancient as I am. But yeah, Raquel Rodriguez, she's not at the easiest of times, but this, like, stuff with Liv feels like it's got some legs, doesn't it? So the idea that she's coming in to help. I'll give you another ancient reference, but it's one of the best Rumbles. Watch it for your Rumble homework. 1994, the Diesel Run, of course, named in tribute to that spot where he just kills all the guys, and then as all the ring gathers to tip him over the top rope, who's the one that gives the last shove? It's Shawn Michaels. So Liv Morgan doing that to Raquel Rodriguez, and then, I don't know what you mean. I was trying to help you. Like, kind of setting up their further dissension would be quite nice.
We are sort of in the powerhouse section of the Royal Rumble now, because entrant number 14 is Bianca Belair. Phenomenal history in Royal Rumbles, of course. And you've got Naomi in there. You've got, Becky in there. It's going to be really exciting to see what they do with Bianca Belair going forward. As we head towards WrestleMania, the speculation around, is she the one that faces Jade Cargill? How does that work with the tag titles, etc., etc.? But yeah, if you need someone to do some preposterous lifting, lift 3 people up at the same time or something, well, there's quite a few people in there already, with the likes of Raquel Rodriguez and more people we've got to come. But Bianca Belair is, it's one of those ones, if she's not got a title, she's tag team champion, she's not got a singles title around her waist, she is one of the first names on the team sheet when you're booking a Rumble, isn't she? Yeah,
it's easy to sort of say that Triple H just fixed the Rumble, but maybe he needs advice on how to do that. Bring back proper babyface deadwood clearing.
Yes.
Like, now you get wrestlers coming in, they barely get a pop because nobody likes the entrance music, they'll do a few moves, you might get one elimination if you're lucky, but generally it seems like it's only heels that are permitted to get like 2 or 3 in a row and build that momentum. As you say, Bianca Belair coming in at this point like a made woman in this division. It was Michael Sidgwick a couple of years ago that kind of coined like the Miss WrestleMania. So yeah, I'm all for Bianca Belair, if not winning, coming as close as she possibly gets without quite snaring that title.
Fair. Good shout.
Yeah. Next up, number 15, the midway point goes to Michin. Again, somebody else that may have wrestled on the undercard, if rumours to be believed, about her match with Chelsea Green. But again, it's given her that rest time. Green might already be eliminated by this point. An earnest babyface. Michin has done well, and probably doesn't get enough credit for this on SmackDown, of making the most out of very little. She kind of like sort of claws at the storyline she's invested in and then carries it over into her next thing. So why not hire her in the Rumble as well to have that?
And yeah, if she is working the undercard and you've taken out, you're saying they're not doing the Rumble, what a spot to bring in Jade Cargill just after Bianca Belair with Naomi in there. And Naomi like, we're a team, me and you. Here goes Jade Cargill. But yeah, Michin, it's just and she could bring a kendo stick with her and just twat some people if she fancies it.
Yes.
Entrant number 16, she will not be twatting because this person will snap it over the knee and chuck her out because she's the best. It's the Queen. It's Queen Nia. Nia Jax has had a, how can I put this? Mixed reception in the Royal Rumble in the past, but after what she's just done with that world title, it just makes sense.
It just works. Need you say
more? No, it's Nia Jax in a Rumble. She's going to be great.
Yeah, always great, Nia Jax.
Just annihilating people. Have some of that.
I say this with precedence, her in the men's one as well. She kicks ass in that too. So I'm all for Nia Jax having a dominant run. Go for it, Nia. And
I like that because people often are just like, I'm just going to have a sit down in the corner for a bit. Oh, bollocks!
Yes! That's great. The typical Rumble rest spot broken up by an annihilator.
Chelsea Green, thank God that's all. Let's have a little sit down.
Open your eyes, bang, into it.
Works for me.
And the stakes are only getting higher in this year's Royal Rumble as we move to number 17. That's right, it's Vanessa Hudgens. I've been trying to save my favourite until sort of as late as I possibly could, but you've got to make it credible if she's going to clear the field now. Right, Jamie Kennedy, put this entrant in.
It's a typo, what's going on?
But I back him, and for his reasons as well as my own. Drew Carey, as he notes, got a spot in the Royal Rumble, having promoted something at the time on television and been in the WWE space enough to get in the match, and they had a bit of fun with it. He ran in fear of Kane, I think it was, and Jamie has pointed out that she could do the same with a Nia Jax, or somebody that just ultimately scares her out of competing. She was one of the more visible celebrities on the Raw. Why are you laughing? The Raw is Netflix special. She made her own customised T-shirt.
Yeah, big Chelsea Green fan.
Massive Chelsea Green fan. Clearly a fan. Respects the beer's nest.
Yes, more than that bloke who doesn't know how to hold a World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, don't like...
It's upside down, dickhead.
Don't like any of that. Or that kid probably who lost his T-shirt probably after that show. Vanessa Hudgens, I think, might show up yet again to make an appearance and then is Hoyd in the Rumble.
Vanessa Hudgens, get press.
Makes it to the final 4 points at the sign and then gets eliminated.
Vanessa Hudgens is such a wild shout. We're looking through it. Nia Jax, Bianca Belair. Vanessa Hudgens.
Where's she going?
I like it, Jamie. I like the way you're thinking, especially with entrant number 18, Lash Legend. You've seen glimpses of her on the main roster, but OG fans of Lash Legend from her time in NXT will know that there you go.
Thank you.
Will know that she is genuinely a freak.
Yeah.
Like, she is. She's got so much potential. She's showing it in flashes again with title challenges previously alongside Jakara Jackson. They're getting another title shot, of course, against the Women's Tag Team Champions next week, I think. So you can build on that for this spot. But she is someone who you could genuinely say gets like 4 or 5 eliminations because it just reminds you. And imagine if Jade Cargill does come in instead of Meechin and you have Roxanne Perez, Bianca Belair, Nia Jax and Lash Legend and Vanessa Hudgens in at the same time.
Lash Legend, they've always used like power spots to kind of get her over.
Yeah.
There's multiple bodies she can do.
She's someone who could outpower Bianca Belair, and I wouldn't be like, that's not believable. It is.
This match is getting better and better and better and better, and it will get better still with Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh, yes!
Kind of an uncrowned champion in NXT at the moment. It looks like it'll be the North American title because Julia's got the world, and maybe down the line you have some sort of title versus title showdown. Who knows what? Or even Stephanie Vaquer skips that entirely. The Royal Rumble could be evidence of that as well. We'll see maybe if she is to enter just how dominant she could be. Is she given eliminations? Is she given control segments over some of the existing bigger stars?
Does Fallon Henley cost her this as well?
Oh my God. You're just looking for any kind of NXT invasion on these shows, aren't you? Yeah. She's had a great run on NXT so far, and it feels like she's there for a good time rather than a long time.
She is going to be on the main roster, I'd say, around WrestleMania time, to be perfectly honest. Don't mess about with her. She is incredible, and a hell of an introduction to have her in the Royal Rumble. Speaking of stars from NXT, remember her from last year? She's great. Roxanne Perez has held the NXT Women's Championship at bloody ages, just dropped it, of course, to Julia, and according to Michael Sidgwick, seems destined for the main roster. So have her in there. She's got a history with someone who's coming up a little bit later on in my picks, and she is going to be one of the biggest stars that they push from NXT coming up. They've done everything with her down in NXT, a bit like they did with Bron Breakker, just to make sure she is 100% ready for the main roster. And she is. And she showcased it last year in the Royal Rumble. She'll do it again here. She ain't winning, but she could be someone who has some big spots with one of the 4 horsewomen.
She's ready. And so is... Charlotte Flair!
Oh, my other queen.
Yeah, indeed. Charlotte
first
Flair.
queen.
They have promoted Charlotte Flair's return, not necessarily in the Royal Rumble, but they have promoted her with vignettes on SmackDown. They're not bothered about the surprise being out there or any of that kind of thing. If anything, based on the response that vignette got, the first one that aired on SmackDown, I think they want people to have that dread it run from it feeling.
She's winning it, isn't she?
I think she stands a hell of a chance, and why not as well? Like, it'd be an amazing return. She's never really had much TV time or space within the Triple H era, oddly enough. She suffered that terrible injury just over a year ago, and it seems like she's made a full recovery and is ready to go. There are several big main event matches that are already being fantasy booked, not least with the current world champion. So when she arrives, expect her to make it at very least the final 4, maybe the final 2, and maybe even win.
3 of the 4 horsewomen in this match.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened before? I can't even remember.
I must have done, to be fair.
They must have done it early, maybe.
Yeah, but they are increasingly starting to tell stories where, like, you're seeing like horsewomen replacements, avatars and the like, kind of wanting to like step past them. So
there's fantasy booking, isn't there, for like stars of NXT, Roxanne Perez, former star Tiffany Stratton, of course, and Lyra Valkyria facing the 4 horsewomen in matches at WrestleMania, which I really like as an idea. Look, she will get some kind of reaction, but I've missed her. I think it's been, she's had a really awful time of it. She came back and then immediately got injured, of course. And if you want a ridiculously big WrestleMania, you put Charlotte Flair in a title match, and I think her versus Tiffany is money.
Feels big, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Feels big.
Entrant number 22, a future main eventer, one would hope. Dakota Kai, another person who had a horrible time with injuries, but now seems to be in her groove on the main roster. Just fell short, of course, in the women's IC title match, but someone who, you've got some members of the PFC in there, you've got Damage Control in there, someone who just makes sense as... maybe it's someone who gets a bit surprised, big elimination, Dakota, because she deserves some big moments. I think she's so good.
There's a push hiding within this losing streak at the moment, isn't there? So
yes.
I'm kind of up for Dakota Kai having a good night. It's not just Jim Carrey that's obsessed with the number 23. I am too, and that's why I've selected Jordynne Grace. Look, she's done business the right way with TNA, despite the fact that it was reported that maybe certainly looked as if she wasn't mad keen on working what turned out to be kind of a ripper with Tessa Blanchard at TNA Genesis.
It's match of the year.
Oh my God. So yeah, what a way to go for Jordynne Grace. Kind of a forever Impact Wrestling Women's Champion, and has already made it quite clear that she'll make a hell of a statement in WWE. She was awesome in the Rumble this time last year. She's been fantastic on her sojourns to NXT, and she has indeed been the lifeblood of that pretty great women's division in TNA and Impact Wrestling over the years. I cannot wait for Jordynne Grace in WWE, and I say that on purpose because frankly NXT's got enough talent to be working with, and Jordynne Grace would be wasting time spinning her wheels down there.
Well, look what she did in last year's Royal Rumble. She came in and it looked like everyone else couldn't wrestle compared to her. We did a video on surprises in the Royal Rumble and didn't even include Jordynne Grace because it's not a surprise. No. It's definitely happening, and I think she's going to do awesome things in there. And just some of the names she could interact with, really, really exciting, including entrant number 24, Bayley. Roxanne Perez, history, of course. Someone who...
last year's winner.
Yeah, has a great deal of history in Royal Rumbles indeed, and, one of the two people I know who's definitely going to be in it.
Yeah, well, can't ignore this. She's actually announced. So Bayley, feeling good about...
kind of had to include her and Nia.
Feeling good about Bayley working the match.
Yeah.
As I am, number 25, Candice LeRae. It's a bit like the Dakota Kai situation, isn't it? Like, she's been put as the sidekick of Nia Jackson, is not winning matches, but her run is sort of developing off the back of it. Yeah, things aren't going that great for her, but she's getting more TV time, more focused direction than she's had in ages. And if Nia's in there, playing sidekick as Nia does all the dirty work, and then Candice LeRae being able to cheerlead, and then maybe steal a couple of eliminations herself, I think we'll be in keeping with what they've done with her on SmackDown of late.
Either that, or she keeps the wings on, and take your pick. Raquel Rodriguez, Lash Legend, Bianca Belair, Jordynne Grace, keep your wings on, pull you over the top rope. See you later.
I'm up for that. We've got so many people flying in this one, haven't we? I've seen some women wrestlers flying.
Someone who has a great deal of history with Bayley, of course, is entrant number 26. It is Io Sky, another contender for this match. Someone else who seems to be set for title matches in 2025. A lot of love for Io Sky. There was that brief tease of her and Rhea Ripley a while back. I don't think that was just a coincidence. She could easily, especially if she's coming in this late in the match, could be one of the real contenders for this. Yeah,
lost the title at WrestleMania last year, but could win it back this year based on increased rumours that we're seeing about the potential of an awesome Rhea Ripley Io Sky match. So yeah, all for her certainly making it down to the last few, and entering late is obviously going to help that cause.
Lucky number 27.
Yeah, 27, a big role given to Nikki Cross of the Wyatt Six, which if nothing else keeps them on television since they signed on the dotted line with SmackDown. SmackDown Jim, can't remember his name, who was willing to get Uncle Howdy and the gang round the table and thrash out the numbers and get a deal everybody's happy with. And it's a good deal because they've not appeared on TV since. So they've got that sweetheart role at this point. They only get out of bed for roles as big as the Royal Rumble, and if you're going to enter it, get the best spot. Nikki Cross going to crawl out from the underworld.
Coming in from underneath the ring?
Yeah, why not? She can go back under there when she's been eliminated.
I like that.
Just assume she lives there.
Entrant number 28 is Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Loads of reports recently about them scrapping her return from a couple of weeks back on Raw. That doesn't mean they've completely cancelled all that, though.
Nope.
And Alexa Bliss is someone I'd love to see return. Yes, obviously you can interact with Nikki Cross in there. Personally, as Andy and I both said, I'd rather see Alexa Bliss go back to number one contender, title person, solo contender, Alexa Bliss, and having her in there along with so many other previous world champions is a no-brainer for me. Another huge pop. Like, How many have we got with big returns in this match?
This is it. We keep hearing about Alexa Bliss and big returns and big creative ideas. It's a hell of a way to do it. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty with number 29. We've got Asuka.
Yay!
This would theoretically, depending on who's still in there at the time, obviously complete the Damage Kataral set. We don't know for definite, obviously. This is not us reporting some sort of like imminent return for Asuka. It's just a bit of cool fantasy booking and nice to get excited about her returning again. Ultimately, like, injuries have... It's tricky. Removes some people from play, but it's sometimes okay because it actually makes the heart grow fonder for the return.
Yes.
Things weren't necessarily like that exciting with Damage Guitar at the point at which, well, half the stable went down injured.
Yeah.
But now they return to a bit of a different landscape, and I think Asuka dropping back in as a kind of like part of this babyface version of Damage Guitar would be welcome for her as much as it would be the stable.
We are going big for our number 30 entrants on both of our lists. For the Women's Royal Rumble, it is... AJ Lee.
Light it up.
I actually know the theme. Oh my God!
Don't change it.
Yeah,
Rebel
probably
do it.
will. But AJ Lee.
AJ Lee wants you to light it up.
Thanks, Def Rebel. But AJ Lee's return has been whispered for many a time now. Mr. AJ Lee obviously back in the company. And
Who's that again?
CM Lee.
CM Lee.
Thank you, Andy. If it's ever going to happen, I feel like now is the time. Not saying she's winning,
Yeah.
but you just... I think the roof would come off. A bit like with Big E, like we said in the men's.
Yeah.
If she comes back,
Be amazing, wouldn't it? There's such good feeling at the moment around AJ Lee being not just back in the Rumble, but back in WWE. We talked about this on a video we did about surprise entrants, which you can also check out wherever you get your videos from. It would be, I think, a best case scenario this year in particular for AJ Lee to make the return.
God,
Can't
imagine that.
wait.
Look at that. A good Royal Rumble.
You can do it.
It's possible.
We believe in you.
Paul. Make it happen. Do let us know your thoughts on who we've picked, who we haven't picked, who you'd like to see in there, who you'd like to see win the whole thing, and your thoughts on Charlotte Flair in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you want to watch our predicting the 30 men in the men's Royal Rumble match, that is available right here. Not long till the Rumble, guys. Bye.